Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Juliet. Kindly consider subscribing. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I made this beautiful kaftan. If you're interested, please keep on watching. So first I have my fabric here is folded into two. I'm using the hip measurement I'm working with divided by 4 plus extra 5 inches and then another 1.5 for zip. That is for the back piece. So I'm marking the zip allowance now 1.5 inches from the side all the way to the length of the dress. Now for the length I added extra inches because I'm going to be turning it with the lining. So I added about 3 inches extra to the length of the dress. So after marking the zip allowance, I'm going to be placing the front piece on top of that zip line. So the front piece is also folded into two using the hip measurement divided by 4 plus extra 5 inches for the A shape. So after placing the front on the zip line, all our measurements are now going to start from that front piece. Here I am drawing a line at the top which is going to serve as a starting line, like a guide. Here now I am marking the waistline, that's the shoulder to the half length. I added extra half inch to that since we're going to be joining the shoulder using half inch. So the half length is 16, but I marked 16 and a half. On this zip line now, I also marked the half length and then I marked 9 inches up and then 22 inches down, which is what I'm using to slant the back to help eliminate the zip bulge. So on the front piece now, I am marking the shoulder measurement divided by 2 and then I'm also marking the armhole, which I used 8 inches. The shoulder divided by 2 is also 8 inches. Next up, I am marking half inch on the armhole line and then 3 inches in. I mark 2.5 inches in from the front piece because it's for a small person and the neck width is going to be 2.5. On the armhole, I marked the midpoint and I came in by half inch. I connected back to the shoulder and then I'm using my armhole curve to complete the curve. So after curving the armhole now, I am marking the neck width, which I said is 2.5 inches. I initially marked 3, so I corrected that. And then the neck depth is 3 inches, so 2.5 inches wide and then 3 inches deep for the front. For the back is also 2.5 inches wide, but for the neck depth is 1 inch. So I made the curve for the two. Next, I am marking the bust measurement divided by 4 plus extra half inch for ease, and then I marked another 2 inches for allowance. I'm doing the same thing for the waistline, waist divided by 4 plus half for ease, and then I marked another 2 inches for allowance. So from that waistline now, I'm going to take it all the way out to the hem. From this waistline now, we are going to take it out. So at the down, we are going to mark the hip measurement divided by 4 plus extra 5. This is the length of the dress that I am marking now, as you can see, all the way to the back piece. That's the actual length. I added extra half too, seeing that we'll be joining the shoulder by half inch as well. So from that waistline, we're going to draw a line, a slant, all the way to the hem like so. Like I said, it's an A shape and it's starting from the waistline. So after connecting these lines like so, the next step now is to cut. I'm marking the yoke, so the yoke is going to be 6.5 inches from the shoulder. I use 6.5 from the shoulder, and then on the down part there's also a lace like pattern on the down part, so I came up by 13 inches from the hem. Notice that I started from the actual length, not including the zip allowance. So from the length of the dress I came up by 13 inches. So that part is going to be replaced with a lace piece. Yeah, so now we can start cutting. Please give this video a like. If you're enjoying it, it's going to really help the channel out. Thank you. So for the back, I'm going to open it into two like so and then cut out that slant that I made. Also, I had to join my fabric the way I did because I was working with only 3 yards, and you know the length of the Ankara is not long enough. So I had to add an extra piece to the down part to complete the length. So I'm making a notch at the length. I also repeat the same thing for the back. So now I am taking out the back piece. As you can see, we're going to now cut out this piece that will be replaced with the lace. You can also do the same for the back, but I was only using the lace on the front part. So I'm marking extra 1.5 inch on this pattern. We're going to use it to cut the lace. So that 1.5 will cover for folding the lace and then joining it back to the dress. Then the upper part, we're going to cut out the front neckline and then the yoke part, which we are going to replace with a lace. Now this is the lace we are using. This is 1 yard of sample lace. It's by 60. So I'm folding into two, as you can see. I'm going to fold again into two. Now we have 4 folds. So what I did is take out the part that I'll be using for the sleeve first before we cut the rest. This is fabric management 101. I'm just cutting out the length I'll be needing for the sleeve before we go on ahead to cut the remaining parts. So after that, now I'm going to fold into two and then cut out the lower pattern first. This is it, making sure the folded end is sitting on the folded end, and then we're going to cut out exactly what we have here. If you're adding it to the back, if you're adding lace to the lower back as well, you will do the same thing for the back piece. Next, we are going to cut out the yoke. So I'm folding again into two, as you can see, and then I will place my yoke on top of it and add extra 1/2 inch all around the lower part, like so. After that, we are going to cut, and then the remaining areas will remain the same. Now that's it for the yoke. I'm gonna head to cut lining pieces for both the front and the back. So for the front piece now, this is what we have. We are going to be replacing the yoke, placing the yoke on the upper part like so, right side facing the right side of the fabric, and then the lower part as well, we are going to place it right sides together, the right side of the lace on the right side of the lower piece. Next, we're going to place our lining over this, and then we'll go sew on the upper part using 1/2 inch and on the down part as well using 1/2 inch. Then for the back piece, this is what we have. This is the lining. Our lining is shorter than the dress itself, so the allowance is going to fold over. So what we are going to do now is to place the lining at the same length with the dress and sew, then pull it up to the upper side and sew the zip line. Please do not sew the neckline, as we are going to be adding a collar to it later, so we need it to be the way that it is. After sewing the front, this is what we have. It's looking beautiful and clean. I've also hemmed the lower part of that lace, and also my iron kind of burnt the lining a little bit. This is the back piece. So I went ahead to sew the neckline at this point, which is wrong. I realized my mistake and you will see. So now I am marking the zip allowance. After turning with the lining, we're now marking 1 inch. So we're going to go sew that to the front piece. We're going to stop somewhere there and back stitch. That's where the zipper is going to stop. That's about 23 inches down. So I'm taking out the neckline that I have already sewn, which I shouldn't have, and I've gone ahead to join the two back pieces together and I've ironed the zip line. So next from the shoulder, I'm marking the half length again plus half inch, and then I mark quarter of the bust, quarter of the waist plus half inch of ease, and then the hip divided by 4 plus extra 5. I connected both together, and next we are going to go join the front and the back pieces on those lines. After that, we are going to be joining the shoulder. So what you do is place the front piece and the back piece together, the lace and this thing and the ankara, then turn the lining over like so and so. That way it's clean. So lace right sides together, turn the lining over like so, and then you sew on it. After that, this is what we have for. So now I'm going to measure the neck. Round is folded into two, so I'm going to measure round to see what we have. I'm measuring all the way to the zip allowance. The zip allowance, all of it is included. So I have 9.5 inch here for the neck. So we're going to add half inch to that, which we will use to turn it. So we'll be needing 10 inches for the collar. Here I'm folding this lace piece on a bias, and we're going to measure 13 inches from the top all the way around, leaving the tip at the top. We just keep measuring round and round and round. After that, we will measure round to see if I can get 10 point. I can get 10 rather, not 10.5. So I saw that I had more than that, so I'm coming up again to mark 12 inches from the top and hope that I get 10, exactly 10 inches this time around, because that is the measurement I need for the neckline I'm working with. So after marking 12, I got exactly 10 inches. So I went on now to mark 2 inches up, which is going to be the width of the collar, the height of the collar plus allowance. So I am marking from the top to where I got that 2 inches. I'm marking it all the way around because it's easier to mark from the top than the down. After that, we're going to be cutting that out. So the collar itself is going to be 1 inch at the end of the day. We'll use half inch to turn the upper part and half inch to join to the neckline. After that, I'm folding again on bias to cut the second collar piece because we need two. After that, this is what our collar is looking like. We're going to place the two of them right sides together, then go close that end and then sew around the upper part and close again. After that, this is what we have. So we're going to go sew. I'll just sew one piece on the fabric like so all the way around, and then I will fold over the other piece when I'm done to cover the raw edges on the other side. After that, this is what we have. This is what the collar is looking like, and then I went ahead to add the zip all the way up like so. Next, it's time to cut the sleeve. So I folded it into four. Here now is measuring 14 inches. That's the width. And then for the length I'm working with is 10 inches. So I added extra 6 inches to that, making it 16 inches. So on this folded end, I came down by 4 inches and I made a curve like so. I'm going to cut that out. And then because it's on fold, One part of it is still going to be folded, so I'm just going to open that up like so. This is what our sleeve is looking like. So I'm going to go fold over like this to make a casing for elastic, after which I will add the elastic to it and then join, fold into two, and close up the sides like so. The elastic I used was 8 inches long and it's a 1/4 inch elastic. Next, now we're going to join the sleeve to the shoulder. I'm placing side seam to side seam and then midpoint of the sleeve to the shoulder. After that, we are going to measure 5 inches from the side seam up, and that is where we'll start making some pleats all the way from the side seam to 5 inches. The same on the other side, half from the side seam all the way to 5 inches, and then from there we'll just pleat the excess into the remaining space. We just go sew using 1/2 inch, and that is it for how to make this simple but very beautiful kaftan. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything, please give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you again for watching, and bye.